Hello, everybody. This is Keith from CryptoCoinMindSet. I hope you're doing real well today. And if you're in this cryptocurrency space, you're definitely doing well today after the events of yesterday. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But as always, I'm here to help you get your mindset on crypto. I tell you what, it's a great day. And I'm sure you've heard by now. As a matter of fact, I did a video yesterday kind of just giving you the news and pointing you to today's live stream because you know what? Important day today. Another loss to Gary Gensler and the SEC. That originally wasn't what I was going to talk about, but that's going to be a good portion of what we talk about here today. And you know what? Any day that Gary Gensler gets his, regulation through enforcement bullshit shoved up his ass is a great day. Great day. All right, so let's kick it off. And well, I say let's kick it off, but let's start with some of the preliminary stuff. Make sure if you're new here, you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like. Come on, crush it. It definitely will help the algorithm and push this out to more and more people. And I really do appreciate that. I think slowly YouTube is starting to push out my crypto content to more people. I've seen a few more subscribers, and that's great. I'm looking to get to the 1,000 subscriber mark because, then I get the option for a lot of other things, including monetization. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So make sure if you're new, you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like the Facebook page. I really appreciate that. Need the support there. And I put a lot of great information there as well. And if you're on Twitter, you know what? You can watch me live. But if you want to interact in the live chat, which I hope everyone that's watching this video will, put some questions in there. We got lots of good stuff to talk about today. You can't do it from Twitter. You can comment on the actual thread that's going through right now with this live stream, but I won't see that until later. If you jump onto YouTube and or Facebook, you can then interact in the live chat. And I'm asking all of you to please say, hey, let me know where you're from. Tell me what you think about this decision. And Gary Gensler getting shot the L for today. Technically yesterday, but beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. All right, so let's kick this thing off here and talk about what I was originally going to talk about. Now, when I first put this live stream out, I was planning to talk about the latest enforcement action from Gary Gensler. Matter of fact, let me bring that up here on the screen so you can see that. The SEC put out here we go. The SEC put out a press release basically saying that they charged, as they say here, LA-based media and entertainment company Impact Theory for offering unregistered NFTs. Now, if any of you are familiar with what Impact Theory is, it is the brainchild of Tom Bilyeu. We've actually talked about him before in a live stream, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video or in the description of this live stream after it's over. And in that one, Tom brought in an expert who was talking about the pending economic collapse, which was just brilliant to listen to. And we commented on that, gave you our own 2 cents with regard to that. And I'll tell you what, it is definitely, it's happening. Anyway, so, and now Tom and Impact Theory, their primary thing was more in the self-improvement space, business building space, that kind of thing. And if you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel, you should be. There'll be a link to that in the description below as well. So make sure you head on over there. And Tom has built up the ability to have a lot of influence. And with that influence, he was turned on to cryptocurrency at one point and basically just kind of like I did, but he had more resources, so he did it a lot quicker. Basically went down the rabbit hole and just like whole hog. And part of that was developing this whole NFT. I think it was called the key holders, and we'll see the exact name in a minute. And according to the SEC, because of the way it was marketed, it became a contract because the expectation was, dividends, making more money, an increase in the price from what you invested in the NFT. So basically, you would end up with more Ethereum than after the fact. And I remember listening to one of the videos from Tom. Now, I personally didn't get involved in this particular thing with Tom. I mean, I appreciate all of his content, but this wasn't one of the things I got involved in. And anyway, so I remember him talking about it, basically saying that, we're going to build the next Disney. And I get it. I get it. That, people hearing that, especially if you are someone who is just in it for the money, you do what? You automatically assume that that's time to make the money, honey. Bring it home, bring home the bacon, right? And so I can see how simple-minded people would see that as, I'm sorry. I'll tell you how I really feel today. Being the, I guess I'm going to make all kinds of money because Tom said so. And yeah, I mean, come on, do your own research, have a brain, make some of your own damn decisions, right? I mean, bottom line, that's what you should be doing if you're here in the cryptocurrency space anyway. Want to know more about that? Let's see if I can get the hand right. There we go. I got it right. Sign up for the newsletter. And I appreciate you doing that. You'll get any updates, including when I go live, directly into your inbox. So go ahead, check that out. Lots of good stuff in my newsletter. Link is already in the description. So go ahead and sign up for that. So sorry. I'm on a roll today. This whole thing has got me kind of fired up with what's going on. And I'm going to try and pull it all together the way I see it with regard to the where and the way that the U.S. government is trying to strangle, using choke point 2.0, the cryptocurrency space and innovation in the United States. And that's something we're going to talk about again shortly. Okay, shortly. So sit tight. We're gonna get to that. I would like to take a minute to take a quick look at the markets, because again, after this news yesterday hit that basically the SEC got their ass handed to them, the market, cryptocurrency markets rallied, and rightly so. Let me hit the refresh here, so we're getting the latest prices. All right, so I believe Bitcoin went up and touched just over 28,000. It had been hovering, as you know, after the last breakdown in the 26K range, and just kind of hovering there, consolidating there. And with this news, boom, it went up. Now we're pulled back a little bit. We're back down to 27K, and honestly, I think we'll find a new consolidation area in this range. So we won't be looking much more. Well, I'm hoping we won't be looking much more into the 26K range. So again, I put out a video. I might actually do another one for tomorrow, talking about front running the market. Okay. I know I'm going all over the place here, but because of this decision by the court, basically forcing the SEC to have to take another look at this ETF application from Grayscale, the likelihood of an ETF approval, even though it was high before, because, BlackRock put in the ETF, and BlackRock's got their fingers, toes, tentacles into everything. Again, not a big fan of BlackRock. I did an entire live stream on that, talking about them and all the ETF filings. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. And again, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all. That way you get notified every time I go live. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, make sure you go ahead and like the Facebook page. And of course, Twitter, give me the follow. Why not? Come on now. Anyway, so the likelihood is now in our favor, in the cryptocurrency space's favor, with regard to the coming of a Bitcoin spot ETF. It's going to happen. Matter of when. Matter of fact, since this decision came out, a lot of people are predicting Friday, because there's another decision deadline coming for the SEC on Friday. And I'm not sure if I believe that, because they still have time to appeal, and Gary Gensler's only following marching orders. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Again, I'm going all over the place, but let's finish looking at the markets right quick here and see what the markets are doing. So we got Bitcoin hovering right around 27.4. Ethereum, all coins pretty much took an upward tick. You can see right here in the past 24 hours, Bitcoin up 4.7%, Ethereum up 4.1%. Even BNB up, all the FUD going on with BNB. Even BNB up 2.8%. XRP up almost 2%. My favorite, one of my favorites, Cardano, up almost 1%. And you want to know what? I don't care what you feel about Cardano, but if you're investing in Cardano, how can this not be like, hello? You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know. Good buying zone, if you ask me. And then let's go down here at Toncoin. I don't even know what the holy hell that is. Anyway, Polkadot down a little bit. Polygon up 3. Litecoin up 3.5. Bitcoin Cash up almost 12%. Almost 12%. Why is that? Because people figure, okay, I can't buy a whole Bitcoin, but I could spend, $200 and a little over $200 and own an entire Bitcoin Cash, right? Anyway, and as you go down, you can see a lot of green here on CoinGecko with regard to price action for these coins and tokens in the last 24 hours. So yeah, this is the market is looking a lot more healthy now. Most of these, they're slowly starting to pull back again because, FOMO is what it is. FOMO is just what it is. So I would say that there's going to be some pullback in the market. And I mean, that would only be making sense, right? I mean, come on now. Again, yes, I'm supposed to, I put it on the screen here to remind myself, because I should be saying that this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some old guy on the internet who knows a thing or two about a thing or two. To steal that from Allstate, right? Anyway, so let's jump in here, because again, I'm trying to keep this live stream to an hour. But if you have questions, I see a few more people have jumped into the live stream. Go ahead, jump into the live chat, put your questions in there, say, hey, I'll try and answer all those questions, and we'll get to that. So again, jump in the live stream. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, it'll pop right in here so I can see it again. If you're on Twitter, I won't see it until after the fact unless you go on one of those other platforms. So jump right in there, okay? All right, so I showed you the press release with regard to the SEC's announcement that, help me. That the SEC's announcement of taking on impact theory, and basically impact theory settled. We're going to look at Tom's response to that on Twitter. He posted it on his Twitter page. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. But his one of the initial stories that came out about it, and we're going to just kind of run through this. The SEC charged entertainment media company with conducting an unregistered security sale when it sold its NFTs between October and December of 2021. Obviously, Impact Theory out of LA. Good Lord, I don't even understand why you'd be in LA. But anyway, raised $30 million through its sale of NFTs it called Founders Keys. I had a name backwards. Sorry about that. Which were offered in tiers. The company encouraged potential investors to view the purchase of the Founders Key as an investment into the business, according to the SEC. Impact Theory emphasized that it was trying to build the next Disney. And in fairness, again, like I said, I remember watching a video where that was the basic case of what he was saying. And if successful, it would deliver tremendous value to founder key purchasers. And again, if you're dumb and you don't know what you're doing with your money, you're just searching for the next pump and dump thing, then I can see why you would fall for that, just like you fall for every other pump and dump coin in the cryptocurrency space. Do your damn research, figure it out, okay? Use your brain for something other than like, I don't even know what, sorry. Anyway, a little fired up about it today, a little fired up. So again, and it goes on to explain how this violated the Securities Act of 1933. We've heard a lot about that. That was the base premise with regard to the case against Ripple, which was the first major L for the SEC this year. And you know, the SEC basically, let's be honest. The SEC basically, as it goes through all these different lawsuits, has its regulation through enforcement policy in full swing. Why? Because you got Gary Gensler going to Congress to basically ask for more money. And for all intent and purposes, they told him to go pound tar because, you know, they're not going to give him more money. They're not happy with what he's doing in the space. Now, remember, there are three different branches of government. For those of you who, you know, don't remember your like history and civics classes, the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. And Gary Gensler falls under the executive branch. He is one of the guys that enforces this agenda, and I think that's the word I'm going to continue to use, of the Biden administration, the hashtag FJB administration. And that's why I said earlier, and I still believe, and I'm going to make my case, if you would, why, again, to some degree, I think Gary Gensler is just following his marching orders. And he may hate cryptocurrency. But again, when we in the last live stream I referenced, where we were talking about all of these ETFs and Gary Gensler, potentially denying all these other ones, there were videos out there, and we showed some here on that live stream, basically talking at MIT about the innovativeness of blockchain, and this was like 5-10 years ago, something like that. Now it could have been 10 years, but 5+ years ago, before he was obviously the SEC chair, and sitting there kind of touting the benefits of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And now here we are, current time, since he took over for Jay Clayton, who again, also no fan of blockchain, just of cryptocurrency, and went on doing his own things. Look where he is now. Again, that's not what this is about. We're not going to get down that road. But again, these guys are doing what the FJB administration wants to happen. That's what they're doing, which is utilize every possible law enforcement action or regulatory action at their disposal to facilitate and expand Choke Point 2.0. So this current suit against Impact Theory, in my opinion, is exactly what that is. That's just the next iteration. And like I said, this was what I was originally going to talk about. And then, bam, right after I put out my notice about the live stream today and what the topic was going to be, this notification came out, which is why I did that video yesterday, basically telling you about that and trying to drive you here, because I was going to try and make the point, but you know what? Gary made my point even easier. Again, he's not stupid. He's a smart guy. And whether or not he truly hates cryptocurrency, whatever. But at the end of the day, right now, all he's doing is following the marching orders of the stupid ass administration. That's what's going on. Okay. So if you're not a fan of Impact Theory and Tom Bilyeu, again, links will be in the descriptions below. You should really follow him. And again, check back on the live stream we did where we broke down his interview about the pending economic collapse. I think you'll find it interesting, and hopefully you'll find my commentary interesting. And if that's the case, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If I see a few more people in the chat, really appreciate you being here and joining me today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new, tick that bell icon, click the all so you get notified every time I do a live stream or I put out a video. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like that Facebook page. And again, if you're on Twitter, you can comment. I'll see it later. It doesn't pop into my live chat. If you are on these other platforms, I encourage you to jump into the live chat, ask some questions. I'll try and answer those at the end of this live stream or in between what we're talking about right here, if it is pertinent. So I really appreciate everybody being here. Again, sub, like, smash it. All right. So let's take a look real quick at what Tom's response was with regard to the settlement, because again, they did settle with the SEC. Hold on, let me find, here it is. All right, let's bring this up. And I'm going to make it full screen here so we can chat about it. All right, there we go. So I'm going to read through it a little bit and then, you know, again, put in my 2 cents. Obviously, they do a lot of work on Discord, so I have Discord, but I honestly don't use it very often. Speaking of Discord, if you're looking to get more information, I use Telegram. Link in the description below to join the Telegram channel. Really appreciate you doing that. As a matter of fact, if you want to know all of my official social media channels, head on over to Cointree. Link in the description below, Cointree, cointr.ee/ccm, and you'll find all of my official social media channels. All right, enough of that. So, oops, hold on, wrong button. I don't know. I've been doing this little live stuff for a while, and I still keep making mistakes when I press the damn buttons. Anyway, all right. So, Impact Theory is pleased to announce that we have reached a settlement with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in which we resolved the SEC's investigation. We're happy to have concluded the investigation. Of course you are. I mean, who wouldn't be? So that we can focus on the future of our business and our community. Although we are disappointed that the SEC has chosen to broadly question the exciting technical innovations that make digital assets possible through the lens of securities laws, we remain optimistic for the future of this industry in the United States and hope we remain the global home of innovation. Well, you want to know what? Not if Gary Gensler or the FJB administration has anything to do about it. Not even a chance. Not even a chance. Okay? They want to crush this economy. Again, not where I'm going with this particular live stream. If you could check out my other stuff, my other live streams, etc., to get my complete take on this administration and how I think they're just screwing the United States, especially when it comes to technological innovation with regard to blockchain and cryptocurrency. Okay, again, sorry, not meaning to get off topic there. But Tom's 100% right in this writing here. We cannot wait to see what the new ideas are emerging in this exciting space, and we would like to thank all of the thoughtful people endeavoring to solidify legislation around this important new technology, and hope that some of the questions posed by Commissioners Pierce and Uyeda, so sorry if I just totally messed up that name, in their dissents get answered in a fruitful manner to give this industry a clear path forward. And again, I get it. That's what needs to happen. There needs to be regulatory clarity. Again, stuff we've been talking about for a while. And then he goes on to talk about how they're going to keep going forward with their business, and how they're looking to roll out a few different things, including what looks like some kind of borderless entertainment. He is, like he says right here, breaking new ground in what we call borderless entertainment. I'm kind of excited to see what that's all about. Tom is an innovative person, I'll tell you what. So to have, to have him involved in this industry, I think is just huge. And to be able to have him help being one of the guys that are moving this industry forward, I think is just amazing. So again, if you're not following Tom Bilyeu and Impact Theory, link to his channel in the description below. Head over there. I'll try to remember to put a link to his Twitter also, just in case you are not on YouTube for whatever reason and you want to follow him on Twitter. And yeah, so do that. Support him. I think you'll find that a lot of the information he puts out there is just huge. It's important. It's groundbreaking information. Now, part of what he talks about there, excuse me, part of what he talks about there is about stifling innovation in the United States. And this is something that I've talked about how many times? I can't even remember. But this just, again, goes, remember, he's part of the executive branch. So he's following the marching orders of the FJB administration. And those marching orders are crush any ability to make any money unless you're part of the inner circle, which is, of course, the FJB administration, because, I'm not going to go down that road. And even how many of our elected officials, people go into Congress now and come out millionaires. Look at AOC. She went in, she couldn't even afford an apartment. And now she's worth, what, 6 figures plus? That's not what it means to go into political office. You're there to be supporting the citizens. You work for us. Most of our elected officials, including FJB, have forgotten that. But again, not trying to get down that particular rabbit hole right now. Maybe that's a live stream for a different day. But let's take a look at this post here where they talk about decentralized financial platforms. And this is from the U.S. Treasury and the IRS, basically releasing new cryptocurrency regulations, which would require DeFi platforms, DeFi wallets, etc. So that's why he mentions here Uniswap, 1inch, Curve, MetaMask, etc., to have to implement KYC. Now, for those of us who also use centralized cryptocurrency exchanges, because again, remember, I have links to Gemini and to Coinbase in the description below. These centralized cryptocurrency exchanges make it easy for the new guy to come on in, get some Bitcoin, whatever cryptocurrency it is you're looking to invest in. And, you should be taking it immediately off those exchanges and putting it into a cryptocurrency wallet, a self-custody cryptocurrency wallet that's controlled by you, not your keys, not your coins. End of story. Now, and as a matter of fact, if you're looking for a great hardware wallet, you're going to see more videos coming out from me. I just did one with an unboxing and a basic overview of the Tangem wallet. I'll tell you what, as hardware wallets go, this thing requires no seed phrase. You use multiple backup cards. So they're wallet sized, they're easy to carry, easy to use. You can use it with the interface on your phone using NFC. I'll tell you what, it has become my new favorite hardware wallet. And I know I'm like, again, going off on a bit of a tangent here, but that wallet was amazing. Check out that video. I'll put a link to that in the description below after this live stream as well. I'll tell you what, I may just start recommending that here at this point. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still like Ledger, I still like Trezor, SafePal, etc. They're good. They're good. I got nothing with regard to those has changed. I just found something better. I mean, let's talk cryptocurrency adoption for 1 minute. In order for cryptocurrency to be adopted by the masses, what's going to happen? There has to be, it has to be so easy to use it that, you know what? Grandma can use it, as they say, or grandpa. Hi, I'm grandpa right now. But you know, it has to be that easy to use. And here's the thing. If you can use like Google Pay, Apple Pay, that kind of thing, guess what? You can literally use the Tangem wallet. Can you use a credit card? Super. You can use the Tangem wallet. And that's the kind of technological innovation that needs to happen in order for mass adoption to take place. So again, this live stream isn't about that, but check out that video, watch for new videos. Again, if you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, tick that bell icon, click the all. You'll get notified every time I put out a new Tangem wallet video. All right, so let's get back to this tweet here where he's talking about this affecting decentralized platforms. This was that whole, now if you remember in the last bill that Congress passed with 100 gazillion other things than what it was actually meant to be about in the bill, one of the items that was taken out but then put back in at the last minute was about being a broker dealer. And that's what this is referring to. This is the government's attempt. This is the FJB administration's attempt to, again, not only stifle innovation, but to stop you and I, who live here in the United States, from being able to go and get outside of their system. Because remember, FedNow's launched. That's the precursor, again, in my opinion, to CBDCs. Again, videos I've done, live streams I've done, check them out. And that's the way they're going to want to be controlling you. If they can control the money, they can control you, because a CBDC completely programmable. And the way out of that is by using these DeFi applications and platforms in the cryptocurrency space. Now, there are other ways we talk about gold, silver, etc., obviously, but for the purposes of this particular live stream and this tweet that we're looking at, and see how this plays into everything else going on with what the SEC has been doing with this enforcement through regulation bullshit. This is the next attempt at doing that. Now, how successful this is going to be is yet to be seen. But they're going to try like hell to be stifling your ability. If you live in the United States, they're looking to stifle your ability to be able to get into the cryptocurrency space without them knowing about it. They want to be able to track every asset you do, every asset you get involved in, everything you move. Why do you think they were trying to go and have every bank tell them all your transactions that were over $600? Why do you think that? Again, they say, oh, we got tax evaders. Stop. Just stop. You don't need to collect more taxes. We're already taxed to frickin' death. Okay? You don't need to collect more taxes when just stop your freaking frivolous spending. Stop sending money everywhere outside the damn country. Stop lining your own pockets. Okay. Anyway, so this next attempt here, where now DeFi, if you would, is in the crosshairs, is just the next attempt at this kind of regulation. All right. But like I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, let's dive into where now the SEC has got their ass handed to them again in court with regard to going and hold on one second. Where are we? Oh, here we go. With regard to trying to regulate through enforcement. Now, for those who, might be new here, unfamiliar with how this lawsuit came to be. Basically, Grayscale put in an application to change their Bitcoin trust, which is an ETP, not an ETF, to an ETF, an exchange traded fund. And that was denied. Now, mind you, the reason that they did this was because at the time and to today, the SEC approved a Bitcoin futures ETF. They approved a Bitcoin shorts ETF, and they had approved a 2x Bitcoin leveraged ETF. So, let's think about it. And the reason they denied it was because they said that, this is it's too, it can be too easily co-opted, and the price of Bitcoin can be moved, this and that. And yes, to some degree they're not wrong, that because we're only just over $1 trillion market, yeah, sure, a big whale can move the price of Bitcoin a little bit. But at the end of the day, and with the Bitcoin ETF, that's going to be less and less the case. So basically what happened when Grayscale got denied this particular ETF application, their only real recourse was to appeal. Now, again, remember, the SEC is part of the executive branch. So their appeal process was to take it to court. And basically, I'm aggrieved because these people are idiots and they're not applying their decision-making process consistently, is basically what they were saying. And obviously they're not wrong. The court even agreed with that. As we get through this, we'll keep talking about that. So basically, what at that point, it became the court's need to decide if the SEC's denial was arbitrary and capricious. So, in other words, were they not being consistent in their treatment of similar products? So, the similarity between a Bitcoin spot ETF and a Bitcoin futures ETF is like very similar. And in this particular ruling, I think the number they used was like 99% similar. And again, they're not wrong. You got more opportunity to get screwed on a Bitcoin futures ETF than you do on a Bitcoin spot ETF. And let's think about it. The SEC is always out to protect you. Bullshit. Who's kept out of the market with the denial of a spot Bitcoin ETF? Me and you, the average Joe. We're the ones kept out of the market for our protection. Bullshit. But yet you got a futures ETF, a shorts ETF, and a 2x leveraged Bitcoin ETF that you have to either be an accredited investor or professional trader to access. So again, who's it about helping? You know that the SEC and all these other CFTC and all these other lettered agencies that deal with trading stocks, etc., are in the pocket of Wall Street. We saw that with the whole GameStop debacle that was like, I don't know, 3-4 years back now. And if you want to know more about that, head over to my website, CryptoCoinMindSet.com. Search it up. Plenty of writing done about that. What happened with that debacle? Basically, when the average Joe like you and me, who wanted GameStop to stay alive, started popping up the price of GameStop stock. Woo, say that 5 times fast. And why? Because these Wall Street entities did what? They shorted the stock, expecting to make all kinds of money. They were losing their shirts. So they went crying to the government. And what happened? A lot of people like you and I were trading on stuff like Robinhood and Webull and all these other places. So what did they do? They clamped that down. No more trading. You can't buy. You can only sell. Well, again, why is that? Because all these major people, all the big money people who have their tentacles into everything were losing their shit. Oh, well, that's the way I look at it. But so knowing that is, in my opinion, not financial advice, old guy, internet, take it for what it's worth. But that's why you've got a futures ETF, a shorts ETF, and a 2x leverage ETF. Because these guys want to dabble with Bitcoin, but they want to dabble where it's only them that can dabble. Only them that can profit. So this spot Bitcoin ETF would be something you and I can actually access, make some money, lose some money, whatever. You know, again, you need to make your own damn financial decisions. Do your own damn research. Figure it out for yourself. Figure it out for yourself and stop whining about any mistakes you make. Okay, back to where we were. So basically, this ruling from the Appellate Court, District of Columbia, was saying that the SEC was arbitrary and capricious in their decision to deny this spot ETF when they had a product similar that they had approved. So things were not, basically they're saying, you are not being fair. You are not treating people equally. You are just being, well, they didn't say this, but I'll say it. You're just being an ass. And that's why in the video I did yesterday, you know what? It's like, screw Gary Gensler and the SEC. I got no issue with that. Screw you. You know, that's, again, I realize, as I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, that Gary Gensler is following the marching orders of the FJB administration. I get it. That's his job. He's part of their executive branch. I get it. He's doing what he's told. But at the end of the day, what he's being told, obviously, is not consistent with the checks and balances that we have in our government, which, heaven forbid, hopefully still work. I mean, a lot of issues with this country, but obviously, at least in the case of the courts, the judicial branch being able to be the check for these other branches of government worked the way it was supposed to. And now the SEC has a few things that they could potentially do in order to, move forward with the situation. Now, if you're on crypto Twitter or even YouTube, for that matter, you're probably seeing like, oh, here we go. This is it. We got the ETF coming now. Bang, bang, bang. It's coming this week. Now, again, I mentioned Friday, I think is another decision deadline that is coming to by the SEC. And could they? Yeah. Will they? I don't think just yet. I don't think just yet. That's my opinion. But again, you're looking to front run the market. You're looking to ride the Bitcoin price action wave up and to the right. Well, I don't know. Again, not financial advice, but maybe you should think if this is a good time to drop in a little bit of money. That's up to you. Do your own damn research. Figure it out for yourself. All right, so let's talk about what the SEC's options are. Okay. Basically, okay, I should say this. So this decision by the court basically vacates the original decision of the denial against Grayscale and sends the petition back to the SEC. So the SEC could then decide, well, you know what? I'm going to deny this now because of something else. Now, I'm going to guess that if they do that, Grayscale will probably bring it back to the appellate court because, again, you've got a futures product and the appellate court is basically saying it's pretty much the same thing. Why the hell wouldn't you approve this if you've approved this? And they will win again if they have to appeal it. If the first thing that the SEC could do is deny on different grounds. And you want to know what? And a lot of people thought that Grayscale wouldn't win this particular case because that legal bar of being arbitrary and capricious is a high bar. It's difficult to prove because at the end of the day, even if the appellate court didn't agree with the decisions that the SEC made, so saying no, even if they didn't agree with that decision, if the SEC was able to coherently argue why they denied that, they'd win. They would have won. So that makes you think, how arbitrary is this? How bad is this administration trying to screw you and I with regard to cryptocurrency? This is just the current way of being able to get into it by having an ETF that we can go ahead and invest in on our own. Now, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be investing in this ETF. That's not what I want to do. I think the future of what is going to happen is inside the cryptocurrency space. I think that that's the means to get outside of this system that they're slow timingly destroying. But again, not trying to get down that road. So, but at the end of the day, if all of these accredited investors and others are able to go ahead and deal with futures, shorts, and 2x leverage, well, why the hell can't you and I sit there and invest in an ETF that we actually might know something about? Because the SEC is protecting us. Yeah, right. All right, so the first thing that the SEC could do with regard to this is deny their petition again for a different reason, which will probably land it back in the court, which will then probably land another victory to Grayscale. The second thing that they could do is appeal the decision. So the SEC could appeal the decision of this panel because this ruling came, I think it was a 3-person panel of the appellate court. And I believe the next step in that process afterward, if it does get appealed, is it gets appealed to the entire appellate court. However many people there are on that. I want to say 15, but don't hold me to that. I probably should have looked that up before I started this live stream, but I didn't. I apologize. But the bottom line is they could appeal it. Now, unless there are judges who are going to find in favor of the SEC, does the SEC want to take another hit? Do they really? They're all. I mean, let's be honest. I think the writing's on the wall for Gary Gensler. I don't see him being here much longer. Maybe another year or so. I don't know. And if the election goes where FJB has finally gotten out of the White House, he's definitely gone. Okay, he's definitely gone. And I'm sure he's, again, Gary Gensler's not a stupid guy. I'm sure he gets this. I'm sure he understands that, again, the writing's on the wall. So why, whatever. Anyway, so does he really want to be the guy who's known for basically getting his ass kicked by the cryptocurrency space? I don't know, maybe. I got it. He's got some victories. He got the right judge in the library case. He's gotten how many people and entities to just settle without admitting guilt, like we talked about in the beginning, with impact theory and Kraken and Robinhood, and the list goes on and on and on. That's the only way that they're putting money in their coffers to keep themselves going. Because again, like I talked about, he went to Congress and they basically gave him the big FU and said, get the hell out of here. Most members, well, I don't say most, but how many members of Congress do you see? It's hashtag fire Gary Gensler. Hello. Anyway, so that's the second thing they can do. So first one, deny on different grounds. Second is that Gary Gensler could appeal. What's the third thing he could do? Well, the third thing he could do is rescind the futures ETF that already exists, the approval that already exists. Why would he do that? Because that futures ETF was the grounds for this win by Grayscale. That was where the court said that you are being arbitrary in your decision-making process. You are not applying your decision-making process consistently amongst similar products. So, if he gets rid of the similar product, then guess what? All of a sudden, that evidence of arbitrary and capricious no longer exists, does it? So is Gary going to do something like that? I think of all his possible options, that is the least likely. It's already in place. If he does that, he is going to be biting the hand that protects him to some degree, because of all these people on Wall Street and how that the SEC and the government is in bed with Wall Street. So, not to mention, that doesn't play well for the pending ETFs applications, particularly with BlackRock. Again, don't like BlackRock. You can go see that other live stream I put out. So, matter of fact, this is probably a good time to say again, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tick that bell icon, click the all. That way you get notified every time I put out a great video or go live. And you know what? Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Smash it, smash it, smash it. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't, it doesn't look like anybody has, jump into the live chat, throw in a question. I'd love to hear what you're thinking or what you're looking to get answered. All right. So I don't see that third option of rescinding the futures ETF that already exists as being a viable option for Gary. So then what's the final option? And this is the one everybody's like, woo, here it comes. Yeah, the court basically said we can have a spot ETF. Technically, the court didn't say that. Basically, what they said is, here, SEC, rethink your strategy here and make it consistent. That's what they said. But they could, Gary, the SEC, could approve a Bitcoin spot ETF. And if you ask me, I believe that's the most likely outcome. Now, the timeline with regard to that, again, I don't know. But I'm not in the camp that that's happening this week. I'm just not in that camp. Could I be wrong? I'm always wrong some of the time. I'm always right some of the time. Anybody that's on here, unless they're deep, into the government bureaucracy, they don't know. They're just guessing. They're giving you an opinion. That's it. So again, be smart about what you're listening to and who you're listening to. Because unless they're into whatever it is that's being reviewed, they have no idea. So again, use your brain. Be smart. Okay? Think about what you're doing before you do it. So my opinion, because you're here, you get my opinion, is that will this be what the SEC does? Yes. Will it happen this week? I really don't think so. Will it happen by the end of the year? Before the last video I did about this, I said I didn't think so. That I thought it would be 2024 before this happened. I think this loss by the SEC changes that landscape. I think that it's going to be more likely that we might see this spot ETF approval. And I say this, I'm not just talking Grayscale here. I'm talking BlackRock, Grayscale, ARK Invest, all of the different ETFs. I think there are like a dozen plus of them lined up right now, waiting for approval, will get approved. And I think there'll be a lot of them all at once. It won't just be, like I said, a Grayscale thing, and then, okay, we'll get the BlackRock eventually, ARK eventually. And I do think it'll have some degree of our, whoever the biggest players are will get approved first. And I do think that will be Grayscale. I will just about guarantee it'll be BlackRock because, again, they've got their tentacles into everything, including around Gary Gensler's throat at the end of the day. And then, stuff like ARK Invest, etc. I really do believe that those will be the initial players that an ETF does get approved. And again, to me, thank you to this loss that was just delivered to the SEC, I believe that that's going to be a sooner rather than later thing. So before 2024. Again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, just some old guy who happens to follow a little bit of this stuff. But I think that, I think that we're going to see the Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF. And I think when that happens, we're going to see a huge skyrocket in the price of Bitcoin. I love live streams. In the price of Bitcoin. I really do. I think that we are going to see a major rally in the cryptocurrency market as a whole. But it's going to be led, obviously, by Bitcoin because, again, at the end of the day, this is a Bitcoin spot ETF we're talking about. Gary Gensler and the SEC can't hold back the floodgates much longer. They just can't. And with the ever-increasing amount of pressure that they're getting from the court system, and, again, entities like BlackRock, by filing for a spot ETF, I think it's almost pretty much over, but for the shouting, Again, my opinion. All right. We're at almost an hour. And I think I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover here. Again, the wrap. Gary and the SEC are following the marching orders of the FJB administration. They're sitting here trying to choke out yours and my ability to be able to access the cryptocurrency space. And in the process, they're stifling investments and, honestly, technological innovation in the United States. And that's the other thing I wanted to point out. Let me bring that up right now, because and I'm not the only one that thinks this. And for example, here is, where is it? Appeals. Man, did I not bring? Hold on. Maybe I forgot to. Wow. I guess I forgot to find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, I will just give you the basic. Where is the give up? Here it is. Here it is. I got it. I found it. Sorry. Appreciate your patience. Thank you very much. All right. Here we go. Again, I'm not the only one that feels this way. All right. So here you go. This is the founder of the DYDX decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. Crypto builders should give up serving U.S. customers for 5 to 10 years. And it goes on in this article to talk about how the current regulatory climate in the United States and this litigious bullshit coming from the SEC, amongst other entities, is not only stifling innovation in the United States, it's like making it difficult for these companies and platforms to even function for US based residents. So again, who is Gary Gensler and the SEC really helping? It ain't us. He's not helping me and you. He's helping the people who pad his pockets. He's helping the people who are going to benefit from all this, that are going to be the ones who are trying to control the market, which is not what's supposed to happen in cryptocurrency, right? The cryptocurrency space is meant to free us from this crap. Maybe it's time to go and really, really do your research about what you should be investing in the cryptocurrency space, so you're prepared when this all starts to really, really happen. Again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, some old guy. But I don't know. That's what I'm doing anyway. That's all I can tell you is what I'm doing, right? I think that's going to do it for today. I really appreciate everybody being here. There's no comments in the live chat, so no questions that are going to be answered today. But if you're watching this on a replay, throw comments, questions and comments in the comments below the live stream. I'll get to them, I promise. If you're, again, on Twitter, put them in the thread, and I will get to them when I can. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you hit that like button. If you're on Facebook watching this, make sure that you like the Facebook page for CryptoCoin Mindset and visit CryptoCoinMindset.com. All right, I'm going to wrap it. Appreciate you being here. Next week, that's the other thing. Next week, we're going to be going live, or I'm going to be going live. I keep saying we. Well, you and I. We're going to be going live every Monday and every Wednesday. Right now, it's been every Wednesday, 10 a.m. But starting next week, every Monday, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And we're already live, but we're going to continue to do so every Friday, 7 p.m. for Crypto on the Rocks. If you have not joined Crypto on the Rocks, I would love for you to join me there. Bring your favorite alcoholic beverage, and it doesn't have to be alcoholic beverage. Bring your favorite beverage, whatever it is. You'll get a link. I'll invite you in. Come join me live on the stream. Talk about whatever you want to related to cryptocurrency. I mean, I don't care. Cryptocurrency project, price of Bitcoin, decisions like this against the SEC, whatever. It doesn't matter. But every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So that includes this Friday. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're checking it out. I really appreciate it. I appreciate having you here today. You take care. Have a great day. All right, that's going to conclude the live stream. I would like to say thank you for watching me live. I really appreciate the support and your interaction in the live chat. But there's a couple of other things I'd like to talk about as well. Now, I'd like to take a moment to say you need to beware of scammers. With the advent of generative AI, it is becoming easier and easier for scammers to make you think that I am sitting here on YouTube or whatever other platform and asking you for money, your private keys. God only knows. I'm here to tell you, I will not ask you for your private keys. I will not ask you for any money. So if someone has reached out to you saying they're me, it is not me. Now that we got that unpleasantness out of the way, let's talk about how I can help you. Beside all the great content that I put out on all of my social media platforms, especially here on YouTube and Odyssey, I also provide personal one-on-one consulting. I'll put a link in the description below. If you're interested in a personal consultation to help you with whatever it is you're having difficulty with in cryptocurrency, click that link. We'll make it happen. I look forward to being able to help you with whatever it is you need. Remember, I will not provide financial advice. I'm not going to handle your crypto, nothing like that. But if you need help with anything else, feel free to hit that consult button and we'll make it happen. Now, I also have a Telegram channel. There's an open Telegram, which you see here. Link in the description below. Head on over there. I'm posting in there all the time. But I also have a private Telegram. Now, I do charge a small fee for that because you have more direct access to me. So if you have a question, it's a little easier to get that kind of thing answered if it's something simple. Not to mention, I put out different information inside the private Telegram group. Sometimes different trades I'm doing, etc. So you can get a leg up if you're a trader. Links for all that in the description below. Now finally, if you're looking to support the channel, there's a few different ways you can do it. Inside of all the descriptions on my videos, there are a bunch of different links. Some of them are affiliate links. Basically, those affiliate links provide me and my channel with a small compensation if you decide to utilize whatever product or service that I'm promoting there. Realize that I don't promote anything that I don't use myself. So rest assured that if the link is there, I believe in it. If you use Brave browser, you can also send me a tip on Brave browser. I am a certified content creator on Brave. So if you're a Brave user, you know how to do that. And finally, you can head on over to Cointree, link in the description below. On Cointree, you have the ability to send me a tip. More importantly, on Cointree, I have listed all my official social media links. So you can rest assured if you want to follow me and everything that I put out for CryptoCoinMindSet, these are the links where you're going to find all that information. Thank you again.